Oh, Kelly did. I was about to say, Kelly's probably pooping. It's on record. All right. So this was a kind of a last minute thing. Like I said, Angie and I talk several times a day. I mean, it's a little much, but I hope she never stops because I enjoy our conversations. And I got to the point of just asking her flat out last week, would you next week, even though we have a team call, would you please come on and just share your knowledge? I mean, there's a reason she just had one of her coaches hit 15-star because of her teachings of social media. She just knows this stuff. She's, we've gone on 2 top 10 trips together. She's a rock star. The top coach in Canada. The top coach in Canada. I don't care what you see or what some people write. She is the top coach in Canada. Has been for years, okay? So people can write whatever they want, but they're liars. So she's the shiz. And I hope you have your drink with you. Okay, so there's two Mick doesn't do wine. So there's 2 bottles of red wine in the fridge. And one was already opened and I opened it and I took a sip and about lost my lunch. So I had to open up a new bottle, but I do have my little glass of wine. I've been looking forward to it all day. So I hope you have your little glass of wine. I don't know if Angie made one of her fancy cocktails, but I'm going to give her the mic. There it is, the mic literally, and she is going to blow you away. I have no doubt.
Thank you. Oh my God. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. 1, I love you. 2, you're beautiful. And I don't want you guys to feel like you have to drink because of me, but I have my little fishbowl rum punch. I feel like part of the call should have been instructions on how to make proper rum punch. All right. I'm actually glad that you talked about, because that's kind of how I wanted to kick things off anyway. So I'm going to talk about social media. I have pretty slides for you guys, and I will talk about what's in my ebook, and I'll give you guys like snippets of everything. Obviously there's like so much more in there, but I'll give you guys value tonight, I promise. But one of the coolest things about how this applies to coaches, whenever I brought on or bring on coaches, but specifically Mandy. So you guys saw her on the wake up call being recognized as 15-star. And I love the heck out of Mandy. Can I just say also, I love how you guys are on this team. This is I love how real you guys are. I love it. Cause that's how I am with my coaches. Like whenever we have a call, we're very real. Swear words happen. So sorry if that happens. But when Mandy first came on, she came into like this family, and I just didn't know how she would mix in, what she would do, like, especially when you have these coaches that come in and you're like, they have so much potential. And she just dove in with social media and grabbed every ounce of advice I gave her, and she just ran with it. Like, she was so coachable, and it's all the stuff that I'm going to share with you guys tonight, but she just grabbed it and ran with it almost blindly. Like, no fear. Like, I'm going after it. It's happening. And I'm so proud of her. Not only is she 15-star, you guys, she's looking for a house right now in Malibu. And like a year ago, she was living in an apartment in Alabama with her girlfriend, being like shunned by their family. And I just like, they truly have a life of freedom. They just got back from Europe for 2 weeks. Like, that's what this business can do. So I am so excited to talk to you guys today about this. So I'm going to share my screen. And it's going to be good stuff because this was literally the slides that I used for my own team. So it's going to be good. But Melissa asked, and I literally just said yes. Like, I didn't even really think about it. I was like, yeah, sure. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how I post on social media, how I'm able to do all the things. And that's what really stemmed the concept of this entire title, The Content Machine, was my coaches would always ask me, or people on social media always ask, how are you everywhere? Like, I don't get it. Like, how are you not dead? And it's what I do. I literally built a machine that I don't kill myself on social media. I have one main place where I post, and it all goes out from there. So it really is a well-oiled machine. I'm going to share with you guys how I did that. And I'm going to just give you all of my best tips on social media. Cool. And I'll have the chat open. Actually, if you guys have questions while I'm talking, by all means. And I hope you guys have a cocktail and you guys are ready to enjoy. The first thing I wanted to go over, and I'll just be super honest, and I love how real this team is, so I can just say this. When I was a new coach, I bought a book on social media. It was How to Slay Instagram or something. And I was about a chapter in, and I went, wait a second. Like, so I went and searched the author, And this, by the way, they're an author. So if you have 1,000 followers on Instagram or less, this is not a slight at you. This is a slight at the author. You cannot write a book on how to be a rock star on Instagram if you have, so this guy had less followers than I did. He had like 700 followers on Instagram. And I'm like, wait a second. And you're going to write a book on how to explain this? So this goes with anything in your business, you guys. Be careful who you listen to. And I share this with my coaches all the time. Nutrition wise, like there's a reason why I listen to everything that Melissa says. Look at her. Like the proof is right there. But I just think in our business, we're very quick to follow the shiny objects. And that was shared with me and I was a pretty new coach, and someone said that to me, and they said, coaches are very, very quick to follow the loudest coach or, the shiny objects. And sometimes that happens and we actually have no idea how much success they've really seen in the business. So just from the bottom of my heart, because I love you guys, pay attention to that. Like when you're listening to what a coach does, or if you want to follow what they do, cool, but know why you're following it. And if you're following them for the right reasons, if they've actually seen success in that area, right? So one thing that I want to share with you guys is I've been a coach for 6 years. I just had my 6-year anniversary, but I've been growing my Instagram for 7 years. And I remember the day that I started it, and I remember feeling like it was never going to grow. And there was this chick that went to high school with me, and I was literally pouring my bath and I was looking at her Instagram. I was like, how in the heck does she have 1,000 followers? I think she had like 950 followers. I was like, oh, I have 14 or something. Like I was so discouraged. And I thought, well, what if I start looking at the people that are following her? Because I wanted to grow an audience of like fitness girls. So this girl worked at a gym. We'd gone to high school together, same age group. And I felt like she had like the same exact target audience. So I just thought, well, what if I slowly start, following her people? And that was the first thing that I did. That was when I first became a coach. And that was the first correct thing that I did. So I'll talk to you guys a little bit about that today, but it's literally been 6+ pretty much 7 years of trial and error on social media. So I have had my Instagram, the big one. I have 2 different Instagram pages that I will also talk to you guys about. I technically have 4, but I had that first page since, I don't know, 2012. That makes 7 years. Thousands of dollars spent on trainings. I have done all of the academies. I've attended live events. I've met people. So that's why I want to share this with you, because I'm literally condensing that information for you guys, like just to make it simple. Not that it matters anymore because things change so quickly, but I grew my Facebook fast as a new coach to 30,000. All my Instagram combined have over 90,000, which is nothing compared to your upline. So I feel like a little fish right now, but and I want to talk about that different Instagram pages because a lot of people ask me about that, especially my coaches. So I had Angie Bellemare Fitness, which was my first page that I opened. A coach on a training said, your Instagram handle should be your name that's in there. And Angie Bellemare was taken at the time. So I just put fitness at the end of it. And that was my only Instagram page. And I didn't have Facebook when I started coaching. And then the year before last year. So the first time that I was top 10, I left Summit and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start a second Instagram page. I'm going to start one that has nothing to do with fitness, that has everything to do with Disney and travel, Carl, who's my dog, not Deichler, all the things that I love and that just juice me. And I want to prove to my coaches that they can grow a page to 10,000 to get the swipe up feature fast. That's why I do it. You don't need 2 Instagram pages. I get that question a lot. Like, why do you have 2? Are you hiding on one? Like, no, I just built a second one for fun. And it's funny, the littler one gets way more engagement because I'm just more present on it. I'm more consistent. I'm more passionate. So I think that says a lot. Like, choose topics that you're going to show up for. And then I have 2 other pages that are basically like secret pages. My dog has his own Instagram. Carl has his own Instagram. And I have this page that I have yet to post on in the past, I don't know how, like 4 years, and I should. It's basically and this was something that I learned in a training that I did. If you were to create a feature page, so I have a feature page that's called Disney Food Love, and it's just food at Disney World. Has nothing to do with health and fitness. It's just what I love. And I feel like that is just something that I learned that I could pick back up, but that's what I've been doing on Instagram, just to full transparency. We just hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I will talk to you guys about YouTube tonight. Your email list is everything. And if you guys have no idea what an email list is, we'll talk, but it's your contacts. If you were to lose control of your Instagram page or your Facebook page, it's so important to go to email. Anytime that I'm talking to anyone on social media, I always say, hey, can we take this conversation to email? So I've created an email list. That's all it is. It's just a last of contacts. And then last year we hit Million Club in our business. So I just think all of these things are important. That's why I want to share it with you guys, that I'm not just coming out here being like, listen to me because I know things about social media. Like, I've actually been able to implement it. And again, it's not to brag or anything like that. And Melissa, thank you for saying that I'm the top coach in Canada. I love you for saying that, because no one knows, because I don't talk about it. Okay, so let's talk all of the things. So first, I want to talk to you guys about all the misconceptions that have to do with social media. It's not oversaturated. There aren't coaches everywhere. You're just using the wrong hashtags. We're going to talk about that. Second, quality and consistency. It's not quality over quantity. It's quality and consistency always. Third, I want to talk to you guys about depth with your audience and how to create that. It's not just about follower number. Fourth, how to have a system. So your actual machine, I'll show you guys how to build your content machine. And then finally, I just want to talk to you guys about a little bit of motivation, how to stick with it and how to actually do it for longer than a day. Because I watched this video yesterday by Gary Vee. You guys have to go watch it. I'll try and pull it up and I'll send it to Melissa after, but it's like a 6-minute video that Gary Vee did. I love Gary Vaynerchuk. And he just talked about how after, he said 90% of people, 99% of people will start something and quit after 48 hours. I was like, it's so true. It's so true. Like, we don't give ourselves enough of a chance. So how do you stick with it? All right. So this was all of the things that I said. And these are, to be honest, all the things that my coaches say with social media. I said all of these things and more. You guys, I was so self-conscious with social media. I compared myself to everyone. My upline's upline is Janelle Summers. So my biggest excuse with social media was, why would anyone want to follow me when they could follow Janelle, whose sister is famous, and she like has more of an in, and she's more fit, and she's prettier, and like I had every excuse in the world. And at the time, whenever I had first signed up, I think Janelle had like 70,000 followers, so I felt very inadequate. Now, I think the thing that you have to realize is, like, you're never alone. If you have these thoughts in your head of like, will more people ever follow me? Will I ever be able to grow my followership? Do they care about what I have to say? Like, is what I'm saying stupid? Is it annoying? Am I being repetitive? Is it oversaturated? Is it just a bunch of coaches? And will it take forever? No, like, all of it is no. You're not being repetitive. One of the greatest things that I did by being quote unquote repetitive was I did this thing when I first signed up as a coach. I did 100 days of focus. So Focus T25 came out and I shared a small workout move every single day. In the beginning, like, one person would like it, which was probably my husband, Andre. And then after a while, it just started to take off and I was relentless. I just kept sharing, and I was a brand new coach because I went to Summit that year. That's when they launched it. And then I started sharing it from there. I bought it at that Summit. So if you want to talk about repetition, like, that's the epitome of being repetitive. And that's what got me to Diamond. Like, that's what launched my business, because I was so freaking repetitive. So I just think it's all the way that you see it. And in terms of oversaturated, that's my least favorite word, by the way. Whenever coaches come to me and say, it's so oversaturated, there's so many coaches and it's only coaches that are liking my stuff. One, it's kind of what you're noticing. Did you ever hear the analogy, like when you buy a new car, how you see it on the road everywhere and you might have never noticed it? That is so true. When you become a coach, or when you're a coach, you just see coach posts. Like, it's what you notice. The thing is too, the other half of that coin is you might be using the wrong, if you're hashtagging 21 day fix, well, dude, I'm going to tell you that you're going to have a bunch of coaches that are going to try and talk to you. I'm just saying, like, you've got to get outside the realm of Beachbody and think about the things that truly juice you that are outside of Beachbody. So for me, I talk about Disney stuff, and I talk about travel, and talk about Morkies, which is what my dog is, like, very, very specific to myself. And at first I thought that I was zeroing it in too much. And in the end, what I realized was that was what I needed to do. Like, in terms of when I started sharing my fitness journey, when I was super honest about how I went from skinny to strong and how I actually gained weight. I hate that question, by the way, at Super Saturday, when they say, can you stand up if you've lost 5 pounds? I never end up, like, they make everybody stand, I think. And it's like, keep standing if you've lost 5 pounds or more, keep standing if you've lost 10 pounds or more. I can't even stand up. And I find that that's not fair, because I have a crowd of people on my team, and most of them are my top girls because they relate to that with me, that they're either former athletes. That's what Mandy, she used to be a former, she always gets so mad at me because she was actually like on ESPN and stuff, softball player. Oh my gosh. Like a big dog. Like, she was actually on ESPN, and she was super fit, lost her way, got like fluffy is what we call it on our team. And then like got fit again and got into the best shape of her life. I have so many coaches that have gone through that, where they literally went from skinny to strong, where they weren't really fit. And I just think that there's something to be said for that. So I was scared to share that as a new coach. I was really, really scared to open up about that, because who gains weight with a weight loss program? So I felt so stupid. And one day I just said, like, there's got to be someone else out there that feels this way. And so I shared my before and after, where the before had a lower number on the scale. And I just shared it. And I shared how my pant size went up and my dress size, or whatever you call it. And you can tell that there's a huge difference. Like, I look way healthier in the second picture. And I think it hit home with a lot of people, and that kind of became a part of my brand. So I think that when you're focused on getting more followers, that whole, how do I get more people? I hate that question. I just think that it really comes down to, who are you actually trying to make friends with on social media? And if you're just focused on making really good friends and, lifelong connections of people, think about it this way. Who do you want, if you were to host a retreat a year from now, who would you want there? And if those people aren't currently on your team, then it's time to go find new friends on social media. And I think that that's so powerful. Like, I'm planning a retreat right now, and I just said to my husband, I'm like, I just want some awesome chicks there that we can just have a good time for a weekend. Like, that's the power of a business. We get to do that. You literally get to go out and choose your coworkers. Do you know how many people have to stand next to a water cooler in a pencil skirt today and talk to people that they don't want to talk to at work? Like, that is my nightmare. I saw it on a coffee mug, and I was like, oh my God, thank God I'm a coach. It was like, I just survived another meeting that could have been an email. You guys, nightmares. We're so lucky. We get to choose our coworkers, and that's the power of social media. So just be you, be yourself, share the things that jazz you, like that get you excited. So all of those things, you can do it. And weird little picture of me, but I thought it was adorable. Me writing a book, just pretending. So these are the secrets to social media. So consistency, which I get can feel like a boring word, but it's everything. If you're showing up day after day after day, not only are you proving to your audience that you can provide value, that they can come back and see you, and they'll play that game of, oh, I wonder if, Kelly posted today. And they come back and they're like, oh my God, she did. Cool. And you almost train your audience. The other thing is, you get better. You can play the game all day long that you're saying that you're not getting better. You are. I'm still getting better at social media. I still learn. Every time I post, I'm like, oh yeah, that didn't do that well. Oh, that really worked. And I grow and I grow and I grow. And that's the cool thing about social media, is it's forever changing. Like, something that happened last week might not happen today. They changed the way that you upload an IGTV today. News to me, it's constantly evolving, but I like that. It keeps us on our toes. The other thing is to be patient always. And by that, I mean longevity, sticking with it. Like, do you guys know that there's coaches in the network that are successful simply because of the fact that they didn't freaking give up? Like, they're in the million club because they just stuck with it long enough. They were consistent over a long period of time. And the third thing is to believe in yourself. If you, like I said, if you have a story that you might think is a bit weird, there's someone out there that has the exact same story as you that just doesn't know their outcome yet, and you know it. Like, what's on the other side of that. So share it. Like, be okay with sharing it. And trust me, that's the beauty about social media, is that there's millions of people out there that you can relate to and that will understand your journey and that you will probably inspire. How many times do you recommend posting a day on IG? I say one. Like, start to the consistency thing, start with one. And if you can't handle one, then go to every second day. But I say one. I feel like coaches try to overwhelm themselves when they post more than once, and then they can't stick with it. So just commit to once. A great app that you can actually use that I'll share with you guys. Melissa, I'm just going to give your team all of the things today. So there's an app that I use called Preview. I'll show you guys what I do, because I suck at being consistent on Instagram. I'll just be honest. So this is my last, can you guys see me? Can you guys see this? Because I can't see myself. So this is my last post here. This is how many posts I have scheduled for Instagram. So this app is called Preview. And the beauty of it is you can literally take one post and be like, okay, I like it better there. And you can preview what your feed is going to look like. So that's what I do. And you can schedule them out and you can get a notification, or I think it might automatically post. I don't do the automatic posting. I just post it when I'm ready, but that helps me kind of backlog. So I say one. It's totally up to you though. I just say, to the consistency point, stick with it and do once. All right. So creating quality content. How do you actually, when you're looking at a post and you want to self-assess, and that's one of the biggest things I would say is how to self-assess. If you're not doing one of these 4 things, don't post it. Like, I'm serious. I love you, but don't post it. And there's so many coaches that don't match any of these. There's tons of humans, business owners on social media that don't match these 4 things and they still post it. Either you inspire, you motivate, you educate, or you entertain. If it's like, if I post a video of my dog or like Melissa's cats that like can pee in a toilet, that is entertaining as shit. That's amazing. That is like gold to me. Yes, education is everything. If you have knowledge on a certain topic, whether you think that that's stupid or not, by the way, like I didn't want to share so much to the same concept of like how I didn't want to share how I had gained weight. I didn't want to share my obscene love for Disney, but my love for Disney isn't like the movies and like the kid stuff. I love the idea of drinking and enjoying like an adult and going to Disney World with my husband. Like I nerd out about that. If I have a couple on my team or whomever in the network or whatever that messages me and says, I'm going to Disney next week with my husband, what should we do? I will do no work that day. I will literally drop everything and be like, here's a full itinerary. Have fun. Like I love that. So to me, that's a form of education. It's weird. I get it. It's not like the normal path that, you know, a coach would take, but it's how I connect with people. And it's, you know, a mutual thing that we love. I'm hosting a sneak peek right now. I just went live in it. You would be shocked, but there's like 100 people in there. They're like, I love Disney. I'm like, shocker. Like it's a way that you can connect with people on something other than health and fitness or Beachbody. Like if you want to meet someone where they're at, find something other than Beachbody, right? Because they're not there yet. They're not at their health and fitness level yet. If that's their goal, you know what I mean? So you have to find them at some form of similar, I feel like, interest or commonality. And then of course, motivation, inspiration. My favorite comment that I get on my channel still to this date, whenever I had first started as a coach, it was like the thing that kept me going and how I stayed motivated was any time that someone messaged me, DM'd me, or actually you couldn't DM back then. You had to go onto a separate app called Kik, K-I-K, and you couldn't DM on Instagram. That was back in the heydays. So I would get messages or comments of people saying, hey, thank you so much. I needed that today. Or I didn't want to get out of bed today, or I worked out today because of you. Like when you're able to motivate someone to move and to do something like that, to me was everything. So self-assess. If you're not doing one of these 4 things before you post it up, just look at it and be like, is it one of these? Because I'll say like taking a selfie with a shaker cup, it doesn't fit under any of these things. And I'm just being honest because I love you guys. And that's what I said to my team. I was like, you know what? We're just going to be real right now. All right. So in terms of creating content, creating depth, there's this whole conversation about, you know, how do you gain more followers? And there's all these YouTube videos that you can search. How do I gain 10,000 followers? And it starts to me with creating depth. It's not about like the surface level numbers. It's about the conversations that are happening. And it's almost a gift, I think, to be able to be at that phase in your business or in your social media growth where you have the ability to dive in deep with your audience. Like you have that ability. There are massive social media influencers like a Casey Neistat that has, I think he has over 10 million subscribers on YouTube. Jenna Marbles. You guys probably know who Jenna Marbles is. Do you guys know who Casey Neistat is? He's one of the greatest YouTubers of all time. Like he's amazing. Second greatest YouTuber. I did this for my team too, and they think I'm like a total nerd. Casey Neistat is the best. He's like a trailblazer. He created the form of vlogging. Like, you know how people, you see them with like the little tripod thing and then they have the camera facing? He created that. He created that setup. Like he was the first one to do it. The other amazing YouTuber that I love is Peter McKinnon. He's Canadian. And it's not that I just like dudes. I just think that they're awesome. And then the third one that I love, also Canadian, is Kayla Nicholson. And she's actually from a small town very near Andre and I. And she has like 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. So I share this with you guys because I think that it's really easy for coaches to be like, oh, I'm going to follow this other coach that's doing these things. And it's like, there is a whole world of influencers, and I hate that word now because every coach has overused it, but influencers out there that are true influencers that do this for a living, that they don't have a side business. Their job is to solely post on social media, and they are amazing at it. So why wouldn't you find someone that you relate to that you could look at instead of comparing yourself to a coach, right? I'm not saying not to follow coaches because I actually think that that's horrible advice. Whenever coaches say unfollow every coach, I think that that's ridiculous because one, it's a sense of scarcity. Perfect example. Melissa and I just tagged each other in our stories. I hate when coaches can't tag each other. It freaks me out. I'm like, what are you scared of? I'm going to steal your coaches or your prospects? Like, they're not going anywhere. No one's going to steal anybody from you. And I think that if you have that scarcity mindset, it's so bad for your own morale and in your own growth. So you don't have to unfollow coaches. You don't have to block coaches, but I would say not to feel lesser than. Like, you don't have to put other people up on a pedestal, but I would say to raise your standards and to find social media influencers either on YouTube or on Instagram that have like 1 million plus followers that are crushing it in any topic that you love. So I'll give you examples. One of the first social media girls that I followed was Brittany Dawn. I know that's a really bad example now, but back in the day, I loved her. I still love her. I still follow her, but she's in like some hot water right now, which, by the way, again, is why it's so great to be a coach. Because when you do crazy shit with having like, I don't know, side businesses and you don't pay attention to your clients, we're not screwed. We still have bod. It shows up for them. So I'm just saying, but I followed her and I followed Buff Bunny and I followed this girl called Kayla Nicholson. And I basically created like a merger of like all three of them. And that's how I created my brand. So I'll share with you guys how I branded, but I think having the ability to be in the growth phase, and I still feel like I'm in the growth phase, and being able to actually, you know, talk to people, have conversations with them, and pay attention to the people that are within your circle now. It's kind of like having, you know, you're having a cocktail party at your house and you have, you know, a couple dozen people there and you're out in the street looking for more people to join your party. Like, that's the assholes that we are sometimes. Like, we're like, but I want more followers, but you have like 24 very engaged followers on your channel right now that are commenting and are loving on your stuff and that watch all of your stories. Pay attention to that. And I think that it's a luxury that we often overlook. So the screenshots in the back, I don't want to pretend like they're not there. Those are screenshots from the book, now that Melissa said I can talk about it and not be weird about it. I just never want people to feel like, oh, she's trying to sell us something. Because I'm like, my radar goes up whenever people message me. I'm like, what do you want? But honestly, I'm giving you guys like the juice of it. But in that, I have little conversation examples and how to not fret over your follower count. So that's what that is. All right. So I want to talk to you guys about branding. This picture is the most on-brand thing of my life. I'm in my closet in some sort of a Disney dress with all of my shoes, and it would be great if my dog was there and there would be like donuts on the floor. But other than that, it's very on-brand. So how do you find a brand? I get that question a lot. Like, how did you discover your brand? How does it fuel you? And that's something like, I think it needs to fuel you. You can't just grab a brand topic because it's working for some other coach. You know, like, you can't, I don't know, be all about nutrition just because your upline is, or be all about, you know, want to be a Wonderlust coach just because Amy Silverman was. I think that I did say was, she has a child now. She is at home. She's been at home for quite a while. The Wonderlust life is over for Amy. But I love that she like shifted her brand. Like, she's so good at branding and she like owns who she is. So I just see coaches, even on my own team, it'll be like, well, I love Disney, so that's going to be my brand. I'm like, but do you really? Like, figure out what you truly love. So you guys can either screenshot this, write this down, but I feel like this could help you. So what are questions that you get asked a lot? And your brand topics, like, I can help you figure them out within the book. I help you guys figure them out, but I'll give you the gist of it. You've got to figure out like 3 to 5 things that you can stay consistent with on your page, that when someone either goes to, if you have an Instagram page, if you work on Facebook, if you're more on YouTube, whatever, but that you don't shift from those 3 to 5 things. Because once you do, I'm telling you, people are gonna get freaked out. Like, that's where your follower count will get all messed up, because you're not staying consistent on a common topic. People are coming to your page. Perfect example, because I already talked about her. So Brittany Dawn, when I started following her, I thought that her page was so creative because all she talked about was lifting really, really heavy. And every night she would have this like stack of obnoxious pancakes, but like with Oreos and shit all over it. Like, I feel like the contrast of those two things was just entertaining to me. So I loved it. Like, I just thought she was hilarious. And then it kind of evolved to be like, you know, oh, it's going to get really awkward if you guys follow her, but like her husband and everything. And I really related to her because she had started dating her then husband in high school, just like me and Andre. So I just felt like it was perfect. And I just loved her. As soon as she started shifting that, I was like, who are you? I really hope that Brittany Dawn's never on your team and never hears this, because I'm going to feel so bad. And I know she's from Texas. Like, the odds could happen. But yeah, I think that that's a perfect example. Is like, as soon as someone shifts, that's where you could lose your followers. So my point in this is, you could be doing this almost daily, where you're like, oh, I'm over here, and now I'm a nutrition guru, and now I'm going to have a stack of pancakes and call it #balance. And then I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like, you're all over the place. If you just stay even keel and you stay consistent with it, that's how you're going to figure out what people are responding to. And when you get questions about certain things on these topics, that's how you know that it's working. That's how you know that people are intrigued. That's how you know that people are coming back. And that's how you know that people see you as an influencer on the subject, or like a knowledgeable human on that subject. And I think that that's how you know what your brand is like, if you're the go-to human on that subject, then cool, you've got a brand topic. So what are some of the questions that you had on the topics prior to being an authority on the subject? That's the actual word I was looking for. But perfect example with me with Disney, my first trip with my husband, I had got this book on like how to do it the right way and in the right sequence so that we could have the best time and, you know, spend our time the right way and spend our money the right way. So I look at, you know, who I had researched, who I had, like, same with social media. I looked at who I had looked at before feeling like I was an authority on the subject and questions that I had, because anything that was you either before your business or before Beachbody, like BB, is what you're targeting. It's the person that you're targeting. So think about it that way, because they're asking exactly what you're asking now. Do you have any stories that relate to the topics and that you can help educate and inspire somebody else? So I've shared a couple of them already, but you know, the story about how I went from skinny to strong and how I felt really unsure about that. I think that that's a powerful story, and that, you know, that's one of my topics and that's how I share my journey. And it's just, it's not easy to share, and I never want it to come off insensitive, but I think being just super honest and being like, here, this is who I am, is what relates. It's what translates for people. So that, you know, sharing stories and trying your best to relate to where people are at themselves. News updates that you can curate for your audience. You don't always have to create content. You can curate. Perfect example that I posted the other day. There was like a new announcement for Epcot and Disney World. And I was like, here you go. I didn't come up with that myself. I was like, here, take it. And I will do that. Or perfect thing is like an unboxing on my YouTube channel. That's my favorite. That's not really me doing very much. I'm just opening my mail, which people seem to love, or like taking them through my fridge. I don't get it. We are very strange specimens in this generation, and we like to see inside people's houses and we want to know all their shit. It's really weird. And then what are aspects of your topic that's interesting? Like what do people actually care about? Like what either creates some hype, what's popular right now? So hopefully that can get some juices flowing. Okay, this is the actual meat of the call, so I'm excited. Did I, much easier than posting it, screenshot? I can just give you guys the slides too. All right. So first thing is to figure out your platform. So I think it's great that coaches are all about Instagram right now, but you've got to figure out what's right for you. So one of the greatest things that I did in my history being a coach, like I did it like 5 years ago, and you guys can do the same thing. I went and figured out who the top 20 coaches in the network were at the time, and I wrote their names on a piece of paper. And next to each name, I wrote what they were doing really, really well. So that was how I figured out that Melanie Mitchell had a blog. That was how I found Melissa on Instagram. That was how I figured out that Bonnie Engel crushed it on Facebook and had Facebook ads going. That was how I found out about ads. Amy Silverman had her Instagram. So I kind of like, that's who the top-ish coaches were. That, yeah, like the top 4 coaches at the time, I'm pretty sure. And that was what I did. Like, that's how I figured out where I needed to be, what I was doing. So you don't have to base, just because every coach seems to talk about Instagram doesn't mean that you need to be on Instagram. If you truly enjoy writing, then write a blog. If you don't feel like you're that good at writing, and for me, I don't feel like I'm that good at posting pictures. I feel like I can express myself the best way, and I feel like people get to know me the best on video. So I post on YouTube. I also love stories, but I love YouTube the most, and I love IGTV. So that's where I play. So you've got to be able to figure out what is your number one platform, so your lead platform, and then everything else becomes complementary. And I mean everything else. So that's how you determine your machine. And obviously this isn't even all the platforms, but this gives you an idea. So this is gold. I feel like everybody should screenshot this. This is the example of a content machine. So this is one of my machines. So the first thing that I'll do, my lead platform hands down is YouTube always. So I will post on YouTube on a good week, because I'm not even going to pretend that I'm perfect, but I post at least once a week. On a great week, it's 2 times per week. Some months I've done it before where I post every single day. I almost die doing it, but I love it. So that's my lead platform. From there, and this hopefully gets you guys' wheels turning, and there's different examples of this. This is, by the way, the most robust machine. Like, there can be a lot more simple ones. So complementary platform would be a blog. So you would grab a transcript, which you don't even have to do it yourself. You can, but you could hire someone on Fiverr to do it. Is that what's called, Fiverr? Or it's not called Elance anymore. It's called Upwork. And you can hire someone for super cheap to transcribe your video. or your IGTV or your stories or whatever your lead platform is for this example. And then they could create a blog from it and grab, a couple screenshots from the video and publish a blog. The complementary platforms, the second one would be grab still images from the video so that are also in the blog, post them to your Instagram with a couple of snippets from said blog, and that's your captions. Then your stories, share when these videos are going up live, and as well as share the same screenshots that you're posting. And then on Pinterest, pin from your blog. Facebook, just share from Instagram. Twitter, share from Instagram/Facebook. So that's how I'm everywhere. Like I tweet, but I don't tweet. Like no clue, but I do. And so I think that, playing with all of these different platforms and understanding what's your lead generating content machine and how to build the rest from it is just smart business. And that way you're everywhere. Like I said, this is the most robust. There's way simpler ones, but I wanted to give you guys the one that I actually use and how I do it. But there's some that like your lead platform could be Instagram. So I'm excited, but I want to answer any of your questions. Like that's all the slides I had, but we can have a conversation about it too. And I hope that was helpful, somewhat helpful.
Oh, that was amazing. And I'm going to jump right in. So Angie, who answers if you get, replies on Twitter and you get, on Pinterest, people who comment, and on Instagram and on your YouTube, who's answering all of those? Because you must have a ton of comments and questions and all that kind of stuff and interest. How do you handle all of that?
I definitely miss a few, especially on Instagram, how they like filter the messages. I feel like that's where the most amount of people fall through the cracks. But what I started doing from the beginning is that's what my husband started doing. So I have an assistant now, but back in the day, I tried to manage everything. And one of the ways that Andre came on board was he just said, your emails, Angie, need to get responded to. So let me do that. So, well, like a lot of you guys might be thinking like, well, my husband doesn't support me. Recruit them in a way that you would a coach, like recruit them in a way that you would, how a college recruits like a high school football player, like how they like schmooze them, like schmooze your spouse, like let them know what they're awesome at. Don't give them the trash to do, basically. Like don't tell them to do the friggin' laundry. Like let them help you in things that they're good at. So Andre is really, really good at all this shit that I'm not. He's really good at Excel. He's really good at answering emails. I'm not good at typing. He's known me for more than half my life. We started dating when I was 15. So he is a master at the emojis and the hey girls. So he'll help me with my emails and he'll go through my my messages. So one thing that he'll do is he'll open up my Instagram on his computer because he is not like a phone guy. So he'll open it up through what's the app called? I can scream at him and ask him to come upstairs. I feel like that would be good. Andre, he's on a call right now. That would be fun. We'll get Andre to tell us all of his secrets. But yeah, so it's mostly my husband. I don't have an assistant. Oh, Flume, thank you. Cynthony is on. Cynthony McAllister. I love her. I still will get Andre to come up. But yeah, my assistant doesn't do messages for me. I don't have one of those peoples. I wish.
You don't have a Kelly?
No, I want one.
You can't have mine.
So someone asked, so you guys, I left the book on, and I really didn't want this to be like a sales thing, but I put the book on sale for my team because I just did this call for my team whenever I launched it and I told them I was putting it on sale. So it's going to go to $17.99 probably in like a day. I'll leave it up for a day for you guys. And I put it down to $14.99 and I told Melissa, I was like, I'll just leave it on sale for you guys. So it's just on my website. Just go to angiebellemare.com or you can click the link in my bio on my Instagram and it's there. So, and it's like PDF, you get it right away. I didn't want people to have to wait on it. And it's sick. There's like workbooks and stuff. And I nerd out about that type of stuff. So I've seen your sponsored post. Okay. So that's what I do have an assistant for that because I do not know how to do a proper sponsored post. And he does it through Facebook for me. So the way that I used to do it, and I'll tell you guys the way I did, and I thought it was working well, but apparently this is like not the professional way. So you go into your Facebook ads manager and you do it that way and you can actually target like more specifically and you can do split testing. I'm not even going to pretend to know anything about it because I don't. I have an assistant that does that. But if you go on your Instagram and you click boost post, you can do it that way too. So yeah. When I say share, is it just copy and paste or share? But what do you mean?
I think she means like when you're going through you start at YouTube and it goes to a blog,
Oh,
Facebook. How does that actually shared from one platform?
okay. So I'm pulling it up right now. So the way like for YouTube to the blog, obviously that's you transcribing it, you're posting it. But things like, sharing from YouTube to Facebook that you've posted on YouTube, or sharing from Instagram to Facebook to Twitter, that's just like share, share, share. And there's way more options than just those. Like you can share to Tumblr, you can share, there's like all different websites that you can do. So you could have a blog through Tumblr where you share straight to it. So there's different platforms where it's very, very easy and it's like one button that it automatically goes out. But no, that's not a silly question. I didn't know that. You guys, you can ask me anything. I feel like your team is so polite.
Why don't you ask her if she's got clothes on?
I do. You guys, I just not underwear or a bra, because this is how I work. And my team's like, Angie, do you have other clothes? Like I literally only wear strapless rompers because I'm hot all the time. I can't wear sleeves. I sweat too much. So I can share, okay, full disclosure, and Melissa saw this. When we were in Greece, I only use my phone for pictures. Like that is all my phone. This picture is my phone. Oh, but here, I can show you guys. I had my book printed. So if you go to like I don't know, what do Americans call it? Kinko's? And then you can print it. Like you can have it bound and printed. We're in Canada, so we don't have Kinko's. We have like Office Depot. But you can do that. You can print it. So I had it printed. But that picture on the cover, your camera on your phone is a 4K camera. So I take all my pictures on my phone and I use a preset. Now, in terms of preset, I'm loading a YouTube video tonight, so that should answer questions, but it doesn't matter which preset you use. Like I know Melissa's your daughter has one. Like you guys just pick a preset and use it. It doesn't matter what coach is using, which one. And I'll show you in the YouTube video that I'm posting tonight, like how I edit it to make it my own. So get a preset that you like and then how to tweak it to make it fit every picture, if that's helpful. I feel like I didn't even answer the question. Oh, which equipment do I use? So I have a video that talks about everything, but like I have a ring light in front of me right now. I have other lights. I have a mic. I have an actual camera. But whenever I was in Greece, I didn't bring any of my big cameras with me. I'm just a nerd about it because it's what I studied in school. So I studied architecture as well as photography. So I love it. Like it's just a passion. And all I had was like a little vlogging camera. But in terms of pictures for Instagram, my phone, that's it. And I have the new one, the Max, whatever it's called, XS Max. Taylor McAllister presets. Yes. What was the blog app that I mentioned? Oh, Tumblr. That's like a blog platform. You can blog on Blogger, you can blog on WordPress, but Tumblr kind of does it for you. My website, I built it through Squarespace, much to the dismay of my marketing assistant.
I wish you disclosed who that was, but that's your job, not mine. I have another question for you. 200,000 email subscribers is badass.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say horrible. I was like,
no, I think I have like 60 or 70,000. That's impressive. Where do you find most of those emails? And is it just as simple as what you said of just saying, hey, can we follow this through, an email transaction, or you have free ebooks or free content, or is it your blog or on YouTube to subscribe? How?
I think it's been 6 years of email. Like I'm basically a savage with it. Like, and I did it today. Someone wanted to send me CBD oil and I just did it without thinking. I'm like, hey, can you send me an email? They're like, well, can't we just have a conversation here? And I was like, I guess. And that was the first time in a long time that someone said no. So it was weird. It's like, I'm just so used to doing that. So yes, that, but also to your point, like if I've ever done like, hey, let's do a free clean eating group. Do you know how many emails you get from that? And of course, I'm not just going to say, click this link and join this Facebook group, because then you lose all those people. You lose all those possible contacts. So if I do a free clean eating group, I could get anywhere from 200 plus people in there. That's a lot of emails, and that adds up if you keep doing them. If you do an ad, like a sponsored ad, and they want the information, drop your email below. Like I've spent 5 years doing that. Drop your email below, drop your email below. And I've done that forever. And if Instagram started blocking it, so if you do drop your email below without the .com, then And I just copy paste them and I save them all. I should say my husband does, because I don't even know how to work Excel. So yeah, that's literally how we've done it. It's just been years and years and years of doing all, I would say those 3 things combined definitely is how we built it. I don't share any of this stuff on other calls. That's how much I love you guys.
Hey, Angie, I have a question. So
Hi,
how are you?
I know you.
Yeah, I know you. Okay, so walk me through, because recently I've realized that I'm repurposing videos. So I go live on Instagram and then I save that video. I literally set a timer to be less than 10 minutes, and I've been uploading it as IGTV and on Facebook. But it's upright, and YouTube doesn't like upright. So what are the logistics? Because you start with YouTube, and YouTube is my largest following. So how do you record with your phone, or?
There's one of my videos that you could go see. I literally will take the YouTube video and it goes like, and it like rotates like in like live. So I learned that I follow this Instagrammer called Gabby Epstein, who has like 1 million, like I think 2 million followers. And she does that for IGTV. So it starts as the YouTube video and it literally tells the person like rotate it. So you're basically teaching the person to go like this. Oh, sorry. Which I think now is an option. Like, I feel like they updated IGTV, so you could just upload the horizontal video. Just all you do is put it in iMovie, like on your phone, and just pinch it and twist it, and it'll twist your movie. Yeah, that's all that you have to do. You're welcome. That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but you're doing the right thing. Like that, I would say, like, go live, download it, put it to IGTV. Like, I wanted to do that today, and I was so lazy. I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to do an IGTV.
So much
So,
easier.
you know, I love that. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Someone asked, how many people would you recommend to follow a day? Oh, I can tell you guys something that I did. Will Shalene ever see this? Can I say this? I don't know. It's Melissa's call, so I can say whatever I want. So whenever I had about 100 followers on Instagram back in the day, and I grew it to over, I would say 50,000. Like, I grew my Instagram fast. And because I knew that my business relied on it. And the way that I did it was exactly what I said at the beginning of call of that girl, that fitness girl. I started following the people that were following her, and I would click on each of the followers. So like, listen, because this is gold. I would click on each person that followed her, because target audience, right? So you can do this with a hashtag, but I think doing it with a person is way more powerful. So it doesn't have to be someone with a huge amount of followers. It could be someone like a Buff Bunny or Brittany Dawn. It doesn't matter. Like someone that you love. And I would go through and be like, oh my God, she's cute. If her public or profile is public, I would go through and be like, okay, I'm going to like 3 pictures and like comment on one. And if it wasn't, I would just follow her if she looked awesome. And I would go back to it later. So I've done that for 6 years. And you know how Shalene talks about the 5-3-1 rule in her Instagram Academy and all her books? She got that from me because I got interviewed. I was like one of the people that like saw success with her Instagram thing. And I shared that. So that's how I did it. Like, that's how I grew so many followers, but loyal followers, because I had already gone and commented. And that Gary Vee video that I want to send you, Melissa, that you can share in your team group, he talks exactly about that. He's saying like, pick a city, like pick a local city, your city, whatever, like pick Disney World. It doesn't matter. And he's saying like, go through and give a genuine comment. And he said he used to do that till 2:00 in the morning. And he's like, if you want to grow your business, spend 3 hours a day doing that, like just genuine comments, not just a heart or love, which I think a lot of coaches do that, or it almost looks like a bot. So if you actually can put out like a genuine comment, one, Instagram loves that, but also you're bringing people to you and you're creating genuine conversations. So this one girl, I feel like this is a perfect example. There's this one girl named like, her Instagram name is like Pixie Fairy Dust Disney Mermaid Tales. I don't friggin' know, something. And we are now like best friends, and I want her to be a coach. And it all started with, I just commented on her page and just said, you are amazing. Like, I'm obsessed with you. And then she came back and she said, I don't know what it is that you do for a living. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. But she just said like, I love your YouTube channel and you're awesome. And I was like, dude, you could totally do what I did. And that was a seed that was planted. And the reason why I see it that way is that's how I was recruited. Someone just commented on my post one day. I was doing like a turbo fire kick and it says like, you can do it. And I was such a nerd. And she said like, you have great energy or something. And I went to her page and I ended up buying the Ultimate Reset from her. And I became a coach like 6 months later. So it was only from that though. So I always see it as like, the more seeds you can plant with a genuine comment, you are golden. So yeah, I'll get you guys that Gary Vee video, but 5-3-1 rule or 3-2-1 rule or whatever the heck you want to call it. That's how that started 6 years ago. And that's how I built my Instagram. And I did giveaways. That was the other way too. I'm just giving you guys all the gold right now. But yeah, I just did giveaways and I was like, follow me, to repost this, follow me and tag 3 friends. And I did that all the time. Anything else?
She's in the mood to share. Ask away.
I share with people that I like. Yeah, no, the giveaways are super simple. So I would do like a basket. Yes, I'm drinking. Oh, what am I drinking? Rum punch. Rum punch o'clock. You guys, I play Bohemian Rhapsody every day at 5 and I make my rum punch. I'm special snowflake. I'm telling you guys, follow me on Instagram stories. You will laugh your asses off. So the giveaways, I would do like a basket and I would usually try and make it like overflowing. Just make sure it's compliant because you'll get in trouble. I got in trouble. So just don't put Beachbody stuff in it. That's the secret. Like if as soon as you put something Beachbody in there, it can't be over $20, which is impossible. So just don't like, just make it. And the thing is too, to be honest, I think if you do put Beachbody stuff in it, it might kind of give you away or make you seem a bit salesy, like you're trying to give samples. So just maybe don't. So what I did is I would do like a resistance band, like things that you get as Success Club gifts are perfect. So I would put like resistance bands or shaker cups or like things like that. The things that I loved putting was, you know, the water bottles that they have at Victoria's Secret, like a pink that say like, we're going for tacos. They're $10. They're super cute though. And they're huge. So a big water bottle, a resistance band, I'd put like a headband and I would make it like all overflowing out of the basket. And yeah, I can totally find an example for you guys. Anything else?
Do you want to, because I'm keeping you for the next 8 minutes.
Oh, you're fine.
But you want to tell them a little bit about the top 10 trip? I bet they'd love to hear an experience outside of mine.
What do you want me to oh, can I share about dinner?
Sure.
I might cry though again. Okay, so this was like the most interesting day. So Andre comes to me. First of all, you guys have to know I'm obsessed with the McAllisters. I'm not just saying that because I'm on her call. I've always loved Melissa and I've always told Andre, I'm like, what would Melissa do? Like before I was even friends with Melissa. And then we slowly became friends. And I remember the first thing she said, she's like, I just want to hug you. Cause it's like something like I wasn't going to leadership and I wasn't sure. And she was like, I just want to give you a hug. And I was like, I love her so much. So we became friends and now it's almost to a point of like ridiculous where we're like sending each other videos, but like trying not to show our boobs because we're not dressed and it's like ridiculous. So, and it's daily, but we were in Greece and we knew that we were probably going to hang out with Mick and Melissa. And I was almost concerned because it's a lot of different personalities, right? But you want to learn from everybody. You want to hang out with everybody. But at the same time, there's some people that you want to hang out with more because you know that you love them. So Andre, my husband, comes to me. He's like, so Mick wants to do dinner tonight. And I said, cool. Yeah, let's do dinner. And that's what he said. He was like, Mick wants to do like pure guys, right? Like no details. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then later in the day, I think Mick said, is it okay if Melanie and Matt Mitro come with us? And I was like, yes, of course. Yes. And we ended up going to dinner that night. And there was a couple coaches that like ended up coming that felt like uninvited. And this is my point. I'm not trying to be mean. It was so interesting that you could see like the insecurities in certain coaches that you never like, if you follow them on social media, you would never know that they have those insecurities of like being picked last or not being invited to things or being excluded from things. And of course, Mick and Melissa are like, everyone come. So we were at dinner at probably the nicest restaurant. And like, I'm all about like family owned restaurants and people that love what they do. And this waiter was like, he was like the soup Nazi, but like Greek. And like, I ordered a martini, but like not the way that I was supposed to. And he was like, just let me do it for you. Like amazing. And I love people that love what they do. So he just prepared everything. And Papa Mick was just like, just bring us everything. And they ended up taking care of dinner for everybody. And it caught me by such surprise. And I'm not like an emotional crier. I did have a martini though, and a lot of wine, but, oh, Andre's here. They want to talk to you. So I'm talking about how they paid for dinner and it totally caught me by surprise. And I just think it was the most generous, amazing thing that they did not have to do. And so I started bawling at dinner and it was just beautiful. And we're like, so grateful.
Did Angie say that thing she says where she says she's not a very easily emotional person?
Can they hear you? Can you hear him?
Me?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. Did she say that thing she says where she says she's not an emotional person, then borderline starts crying when she's saying it?
No.
No?
Not yet.
I always say I'm not emotional and I start crying.
I beg to differ.
What were we supposed to ask Andre?
Oh, it's about Flume, but Andre, can I ask you what your thought about Angie being a coach was in the beginning? I mean, what I don't know if she didn't do a good job describing it or she did a great job and you were excited for her, but how did that initial, hey, I'm going to become a coach conversation go?
Yeah, I wasn't actually the usual skeptic. I wasn't like crazy against network marketing or MLMs or anything like that. I knew they were a legitimate business because my cousin was very successful with Mary Kay. So I knew that there was an opportunity to make money there. But I was very, I guess, attentive to how Angie was behaving towards her business, meaning like if she was to start complaining about her business, I would have probably taken a different route with my support. I probably would have advised her to quit the business, as I did when she was with Arbonne prior. She would be very sort of negative towards the opportunity, and she would like spontaneously get really stressed out. And I'm like, you know, my job as your hubby is to protect you, and I'm protecting you from something that's not making you happy. And with Beachbody, I always found that Angie was very excited about it. She was, if nothing else, like growing from the experience. So I found it really hard to be critical towards her. So I defaulted to being supportive as much as possible. And Angie was very good at communicating her vision with me, which I think was hugely important. She gave me an idea of what other coaches were accomplishing with the business. And like Melissa, yeah, Melissa is an example, Mindy Wender, Janelle Summers, like a lot of other coaches in the network, and started describing like what they were able to accomplish through the business. And like I said, that made it really hard for me to be critical of her. And I know how talented she is. I know she's capable of a lot of great things in life. And I became supportive rather than critical.
Awesome.
What do you use to gather our emails? Someone asked.
What do I use? Excel.
Yeah, but the platform to gather.
Campaign Monitor?
Campaign Monitor. And then Amanda asked, do I rely on insights? No, because if I did, I would be doing things a lot differently. I actually go like the opposite way. I've switched from business to personal, I think like 10 times in the past 2 weeks because I can't make a decision.
Yeah, committing to creating content is complicated enough. Like you start dealing with your insights and just adding this layer of complexity that's so unnecessary, at least from my perspective.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You have anything to say about hashtags, either of you?
Don't run your life by hashtags. Like, I feel like so many coaches think that they need to have like all these sets of hashtags. If you over spam, you can get like put in Facebook jail, which is not fun, but just play by the rules. Like if it seems too good to be true and you're trying to like screw the system, you probably are, and you're going to screw yourself. And that happened to me this past, like I couldn't follow anyone for the past 2 weeks because I just used the same hashtag too many times. I don't know. I got overzealous. So just play by the rules, post with intention, and follow those 4 things: inspire, motivate, entertain, or educate, and you'll be good. And make it shareable. If it's something that you would send to your best friend and be like, oh my God, this is amazing, then you know it's a good post. Like that, to me, that's how you do it. And tip, go live on your Instagram. No one goes live on Instagram, and it puts you to the top. Like I always see Gary. Oh no, don't go live.
Oh yeah, I just
go
live.
Oh. I do too. I was supposed to do it today. So I'll send you that video that I was talking about. If there was anything, I'll send you the slides. And yeah.
You're sweet.
You're sweet.
You're so sweet. That was so good. Of course it was.
Thank you.
Amazing. I just want to sit and chat with you guys.
Well, if you got honestly, we're here to hang. If this chair breaks, I'm going to die of laughter.
I don't think it will. We don't weigh that much.
So I see your neon sign. You never sent me like a picture. What does it say?
Donuts, dumbbells, and dreams. That's my brand. Donuts, dumbbells, and dreams. Dream big. That's like me in a nutshell. So yeah, isn't it cute?
Andres.
I like that. Get the new one made next week.
Awesome.
I see some positive comments. That
I
must
know.
mean you delivered good value.
Oh,
I did the content stuff.
Nice.
And Andre helped write the book, by the way, if you wanted to, because you shared good stuff with the team on your thoughts of like your favorite chapter and whatever last week.
Yeah, for sure. Is that what we're talking about, the book?
I talked about Content Machine.
Cool. Yeah. No, I mean, you know how I described it to our team is like, you can't expect a literary masterpiece from Angie and myself. We are, like just about delivering real, raw value. And the way that I equate it to, it's like a machine gun of information. Like you're going to want to go over it 3-4 times before you grasp every aspect of it. But my personal favorite chapter is chapter 3, where we talk about creating depth with your audience, because there's always this misconception that you need tens of thousands or even just thousands of people to be following you in order to build a sustainable business, when in reality, you see, Carl, when in reality, you just need to take really good care of the few people that you do have following you. And of course, it should always be a focus to grow your audience. But the way Angie describes it is like having did you already say this? Having a dinner party? It's like,
yeah. I said cocktail party.
Oh, cocktail party. I say dinner party. She says cocktail party, but it's the truth, right? Like you're constantly trying to gather more people to your page when in reality, there's all these people who are eager to consume value from you and they've already made that commitment to you. So chapter 3 is all about creating depth with your audience. And that's by far my favorite chapter, beyond obviously the actual system itself, which Angie showed you a very robust system. If it's the same slides you use for our team, like these systems can be simplified to be so much less, but to be equally effective.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're welcome. You guys are so nice. I love how real your team is. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. They're good people.
You guys are good peoples.
Good people. Good humans.
You guys have got the whole Bellemare family on your call right
Literally, yeah. This is everybody.
That's all we've got, you guys. It's just us and our asshole dog.
You guys, his page is awesome. He's the best poser. I mean, he's a good poser for sure.
Okay, what's the rum punch recipe? That is value. I was gonna start the call at that, and I was like, well, we'll assess the crowd. 2 types of rum. You need Malibu and Appleton, and a splash of, Melissa's gonna kill me, Pink Sunny Delight. And I know it's so bad. When I bought it at Walmart, I'm like, what is wrong with me? It's just a splash, and then coconut aqua and a ton of ice. That's it. And some little straws in a fishbowl cup.
You did an unpacking of those cups on your stories, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
Yeah.
I thought they were for plants, honestly. I'm like,
He's like, you're going to drink out of that? That's really big. I was like, well, it'll be fun. Well, I feel like this is the most diverse call I've ever done.
I've never ended up on a team call before, so this is cool.
Hey, well, I would love to have had you there the whole time. I didn't, I wanted to introduce Angie by obviously talking about Carl and his little page, but she mentioned it. And then I didn't say enough about you, Andre. He reminds me, I hate this because it makes me sound old, but he reminds me of my son because he's really quiet. And then just out of the blue comes the most flippin' hilarious one-liner you've ever heard in your life. And you're like, where the hell did that come from? Tanner does the same thing all the time. And you're so fun to hang around with. So excited you guys at on the racetrack. It sounds like you did a little more research than I did, what that's going to be like. But
I feel like Mick is going to be freaking excited.
Really?
It said hot lap. That means that, yeah.
Wow.
So tell Mick. Andre's super pumped. Andre, do you guys know what we're talking about? At the elite party at Summit, they're going to do they're going to take us to the track, and it said hot lap. So Andre said that means you're going in the car. And he just kept saying, you're like, don't back out of it. Don't back out of it.
Like drinks.
So yeah, I feel like Mick will be excited about that. Well, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for having me and Andre and Carl. And if you guys have more questions, just pass it on through and I can answer.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And thank you guys for coming and meeting the team, for showing up on such a last minute thing. And I know it was a weird hour and all that stuff. And Angie, thanks for always being available and just being a really, really good friend. She is, if anything else, she's an amazing stress reliever, because even if her and I have a bad day or her team rubs her wrong or my team rubs me wrong, we've got each other.
It's not usually our teams. We love you guys. It's really not. It's like outside factors.
So I just appreciate you so much. And thank you for pouring into the team so much. And I will return the favor if you ever need me.
You are so welcome. And I will probably, yes. Yeah. And yes, we can have cocktails again together. You guys are awesome. Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Bye,
Andre.
guys.
My pleasure.
Bye, team. Love
Bye,
you all.
guys.